Hello and welcome to the Luxury Lounge. That's right. Every Thursday we head in the lounge, we shut the door, and we air our grievances with the world. And there's no grievance that's too big or too small or too frivolous. It is your problem, and it shall be heard. Now, if you want to be a part of the Luxury Lounge, all you got to do, email JTrainPodcast@gmail.com, JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. Title it Luxury Lounge. Let us know what you're talking about. Give us a little sauce. Luxury Lounge. Ba-da-da-da. This week we have great emails. Just to the point. They get us to the complaint right away. They're specific. We love a specific complaint. We want to gnaw at the bone of your complaint. So JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. And if you're here listening on this is coming out on Thursday, tonight, come watch the funnies happen in Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta, tonight. I'm here. Let's have some fun. I'm doing a whole new hour from the special. If you've watched the special, thank you. If you haven't, go check it out. It's on Netflix, 37 and Single. But most importantly, assemble the group chat. Atlanta, Georgia tonight. And then next week, I'm in Huntington, New York. Huntington, Long Island. That's right. Get the Long Island crew together. If you've moved out to the suburbs, make it a night. It's at the Paramount. Seattle, I got 2 shows. Then I'm in Charlotte for a whole weekend. Philly, we've added a show. Syracuse, New York. Just hit the bell, Shelby. We've added a date. Syracuse, New York. Washington, D.C. added another show. Baltimore, Dania Beach, Portland, Oregon, Phoenix, Arizona, San Diego, Boston, Chicago. JaredFreed.com for tickets, JaredFreed.com for tickets. And I know we're adding Minneapolis and Royal Oak, Michigan, so those are coming. If they're not, if they're not on the calendar, if I mention it here, I'm not hiding. This isn't like a treasure hunt where I'm just saying these things where you're like, whoa, where's the link? I'm not burying the link. That means I don't have it. So if it's there, it's there. If it's not, it's coming. And also, I'm doing a lot of stuff on YouTube. We're starting a new kind of a series called What'd You Order? I think that's what it's going to be called right now. I go to a restaurant and just talk about people's orders. So it's been fun. We've taped a couple of them. The first will be with Ashley, and Jared from the Bachelor franchise. It was a lot of fun. I think it's coming soon. I don't want to be that coming soon guy, even though I just was with Minneapolis and Royal Oak, but it's going to be on my YouTube. So subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also, if you're on YouTube right now, you can watch. We are going. We are on Zoom today, but the YouTube channel has full episodes of the podcast, full episodes of the Luxury Lounge, full episodes of the JTrain podcast, plus lots of stand-up on there. I'm putting stuff up there longer. I'm putting up the full thing, especially from the cellar. Sometimes at the cellar, there'll be a little clip that I'll pull out, but now I'm trying to add more and just put a longer thing there so you get more on YouTube, youtube.com/JaredFreed. So very excited about today's guest in the lounge. First time in the lounge, hilarious comic. He has a new podcast called Get Ripped or Die Trying. Noah Savage, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me, and congratulations on the special. Well deserved. It's front page on my Netflix. we haven't had time to watch it. We have the baby, but we like that you did it.
Okay, good.
I'm kidding. I watched it. It's excellent. I loved it.
Thank you.
And when you do my pod, the line where you say I've been trying to lose the same 10 pounds for 10 years, yes, that's me, except it's 30 pounds. 30 pounds.
Well,
so.
But you're a tall, big guy. I live jealously of you. We went out, months ago, and I'll never forget it. My friend from college was in awe of your back, and you do have a very good back.
Thank you. And I work it all the time. I love
back
doing back.
Day is your day.
I love back. Well, I have neck problems, and it's helped me feel better by doing stuff like this. But if I walk backwards, you think I'm 4 or 5% body fat, and then I turn around and you're like, oh, he's a bloated cadaver. Oh, okay.
But I've always been in jealous of that type of weight gain. I think that's the best weight gain, where it's a little beach ball on the tummy. Mine is my whole, my weight gain is I get this a lot where people go, whoa, we bulking up? Are we going in the gym? And I have to be like, no, I'm a fat fuck. I don't want to. Like, I hate, because yours, at least, it's like we have it centralized to one area that it can, from another angle, from the back, they're like, look at this supermodel.
Well, thank you. Another time, Alyssa confused like a 24-year-old basketball player who's my same height. It was faced the other way, and she's like, damn, Noah's like really look good. And then I walked up behind her, and she's like, oh, that's a 24-year-old dude. Like, no, that's not him. So I appreciate that.
That's a great compliment. I mean, listen, my friend never met you before. All he talked about was your back.
Yeah, Johnny, man. I've been trying to become adult friends with him, but that's
that's a tough one to get.
We'll meet in 2026 one day. The stars will align,
Now, okay, so you have this podcast, Get Ripped or Die Trying. Now, what is the premise? What's going on? This is a weight loss journey of sorts?
Yes. So you're looking at an after. This is actually pretty good. And so Will Winter, friend of ours, comedian like me, and I don't speak for anybody else, but has been up in his weight. He's been down in his weight. He's been sloppy. He actually kind of has been aging backwards. He's super ripped right now.
So I didn't know this. I haven't seen Will in a long time. Funny comic, and I would see him around open mics back in the day. And I don't think of him as a fitness junkie of sorts, but it seems he's gone that way.
Yeah, he's like Jason Statham now. He's like a psychopath, and this
bald and shape guy.
Yeah, bald, ripped, six pack. So he's my dom, and I'm his sub. He sees what I eat every day. He has access to my fitness pal. It's just me and him in there. So he'll text me and be like, yo, bro, didn't hit your protein today? He's like my little master. And
what guy are you looking to get on? I understand it. When you're going good. When you're on the health train, it keeps on rocking. You're on the express. I get it. Will is obviously on the express. He's feeling it. I don't know how. I have this thing of it's gotta be a lifestyle. I understand the attraction of abs, but abs won't make you happy, in the long run. You're gonna have to sometime, the fear of losing abs is worse than the fun of getting abs.
Yeah, I think that for me, I reach what I call terminal fatness. This is the fattest I can be without actively trying to be over 3 bills. Mm-hmm. And then I usually go, okay, you're 293, Noah. That's crazy. And then I go down. So this time, and we had been texting about fitness Instagram influencers for about 2 years, just sending people back and forth. What about this guy? What about that lady? And we're like, let's just talk about this on the pod. And you'll see when you come on, some of our faves are real psychopaths. We like Chet Hanks a lot. We like,
he's a fitness guy now.
Oh yeah. And he's get out of bed and stop being a bitch. Stop making excuses.
Oh, see, I don't. That's the thing. That's the weird part about influencers. We've gone. The influencer thing has evolved, and it's now there's caring influencer. It's the I get it influencer, and then it's the bully influencer. Hey. Look at you, you fat fuck. Get the fuck out of bed. It's time to go. And no one wants to speak to you today. That type of person. Yeah. It is weird that they have found their phylums. None of them are original.
No, and the one that doesn't really relate to our lifestyle is that there's a lot of push to get up at 5 a.m. And I never, even as an athlete, I never got that. I can work out at 10 a.m.
Well, you are a former Division I basketball player.
Yeah.
So what goes, is there a thing where it's I want to get back to the Division I, feel? I always think that's the hardest because you could never work out like that. When your job is basically wake up and it's all scheduled for you and your meals are done for you. That is a oasis that can't be reimagined in adulthood. You have a child, you have a life to lead.
Yeah. And I think that I'm not trying to get back there. I'm trying to get back to 20 pounds more than there. But, people often, and I don't know if you have this as a famous person yourself, but people feel very comfortable telling me right to my face about my weight.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think that's men in general. Men get
Yeah.
Like, whoa, like there's a certain brand of dude who doesn't mind just saying it right to your face as if no one has feelings.
Yeah, you're a comedian. You get it.
Right.
I'm just messing with
funny
you, man.
joke. You didn't even do a turn on words. You just said I'm fat.
Yeah, but also you're up 40. I don't know if you noticed that. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I used to like be forced to run.
Right.
And that's basically the difference is 4 hours of exercise a day. Now, if I do an hour of exercise now, I'm not going to look, 10% as good as those days.
My goal is fits in a t-shirt comfortably and it shows well on camera. I can't, that's all I want. T-shirt, skinny. That's all I want. I don't need, and it can be an XL. It just has to look right on my body. I don't care what size the t-shirt is. It just has to hit me right below the waist, but above my knee. I can't have a t-shirt that says a dress or a belly shirt, and I don't, it doesn't matter what size that shirt is. It just has to fit well. And if that's okay, I'm good.
Yeah, 100%. And like, first of all, we can get you there with Will's psychotic coaching, but also I have drawers of t-shirts that I'm like, put on, not tonight. But that's been going on for like 3 years. It's a little too clingy.
Nothing is
that's
more
basically
upsetting.
But that's the emphasis. And then we have comedians on and we have, fitness people on and talking about food. And, like there's people out there that are just like, just stop eating when you're full, man. I'm like, we're not the same. We're not the same animal. No. I don't know.
No, drink water. The drink water people. Those people, I want to drown in water. Like I don't even like the idea. Like, and whenever someone says you should drink more water before bed, I just look at them like, what? In what world is this helpful?
You're like, what is it? Tell me more.
Tell me more about the water thing I haven't thought of.
I've heard of it. I haven't gotten into it yet.
We're here with Noah Savage at It's the Sav on Instagram, on all social media. Get Ripped or Die Trying. It's a new podcast. We want to add it to your rotation. Let's get into the complaints. Are you ready?
Yeah. Can I plug my golf series too that I want you to be on? So I'm the Chip King. I play golf for money. That's at my YouTube, Noah Savage. Yeah. So I played a bunch of comics already for money. I played my ex-teammate,
Are you a good
pro
chipper?
Athletes. Yeah. It's the one.
So that's your part of the game that you're good at.
Yeah. So check it out. There's actually a limited number of golfing comics, surprisingly, for these broke bastards we know.
Well, but, I've been getting into golf lately on the road. It's a great road activity because it takes up time and you can kind of like get outside and just think.
Yes.
And the goal for me when I play golf, and if anyone wants to go, I went and played at a public course in Rhode Island. I talked about it on Coffee with JTrain on the Patreon. I played with this cop. Like, we just spent the day together. We did 9 holes and like had a nice time. But like, there's a piece of me that wants to play with someone different every time. I want to get good enough where where I'm not embarrassing myself or holding someone back that I'm playing with that I've just met. Like right now I'm at the stage of golf where I'd be holding someone back or I'd be too self-conscious.
Yeah, what do you shoot a 110? Are you that bad? Or are you a 120?
I'm not even keeping score. I'm
got it.
I'm just out there for a nice day. That's how bad I am. That I'm like, no, let's just enjoy the weather. Like there's no score going on. And it's really my drive. I got to get it right. But this cop gave me a tip that I think is going to help me. Like you know when you think like someone gave you a tip, you're like, oh my God, I think this is the answer to all my problems.
Yep. So now you got it. He's like, just shoot first and ask questions later. Was that it?
No, well, we did have a discussion about just that thing. Go on the Patreon. You can hear the story about it. So listen, everyone go follow Noah at It's the Sav, the Chip King on his YouTube. Get Ripped or Die Trying. Let's get to the complaints. I will do mine first before we get into it. Kickstart clean eating this fall with Green Chef. We're just talking about this. The #1 meal kit for eating clean, Green Chef delivers fresh and delicious ingredients for incredible recipes right to your door. This means you can skip the grocery shopping and all that stressful meal planning. Green Chef has over 80 meal options to choose from every week, so you'll never get bored. Here's the thing. Everything's nutritionist approved, and here's the main part about Green Chef and why I love it so much. When you want to eat healthy, you want variety and you got to have portion control. Those are the two biggest keys. Here's the problem. When you live alone, live with a partner, when you go to buy produce and all the fresh stuff, you buy too much. It's you just can't get enough. It's not portioned for one or two people. And you are not a creative chef. So you think grilled chicken, I'll do salmon, back to grilled chicken. Let's do salmon. And then you start to go off. Oh, a meatball's protein. No. Green Chef is going to keep you on target because it's creative and it's nutritionist approved. This is amazing. In short on time, they offer recipes that can be whipped up in 25 minutes or less. All the ingredients are always pre-portioned and prepped, including pre-measured sauces, spices, and dressing. It's the fastest way to cook an amazing meal. Go to greenchef.com/60JTrain and use code 60JTrain to get 60% off plus free shipping. That's greenchef.com/60JTrain and use code 60JTrain to get 60% off and free shipping. Green Chef, the #1 meal kit for eating well. Here with Noah Savage. Here's my complaint. Shelby, hit the music. Jared, he has some problems. Jared, he's got some issues to do. Get off his chest right now. Jared has a lot of issues. Jared has a issue with a lot of things that we can discuss. Can you relate to the problem now? There's a lot of news about the Delta Sky Club. I've already put out my statement on that. I think what's going on with the Delta Sky Club is a business decision. I read an article, and again, as every stupid statement has ever started with, I've read an article. But it spoke to me that JetBlue is the airline of the leisure travel. It's not someone who cares about points. It's not someone who cares about miles. Those airlines are doing very well. I think Delta sees that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and they're changing their business. They're saying the business traveler doesn't matter anymore, which they'd be right about. Zoom exists. People are traveling less. There's less of those people in suits going off to China for a day. So they're committing to the leisure travel. They're pulling back all their rewards programs and putting that money into the Delta Comfy Pig. Fine. If that's your business practice, that's fine. The big story out of it, and the thing people keep talking about, is that the Sky Club is now going to be harder to get into. And I was at the Sky Club this past week. I had a canceled flight and a delayed flight, which, as a Delta customer, I get that these things happen. I get that flights can get canceled, flights can get delayed. Fine. But your Delta Sky Club better have Wi-Fi and phone service. Not neither, both. You can't have people that have delayed flights worried about whether those updates will get to their phone. I was sitting in the Sky Club, couldn't get onto the Wi-Fi. Then my service wasn't good. The Sky Club should literally have a phone tower located in the club. There is nowhere in the world where your phone is more necessary than in that airport. The fact that service does go out frequently at most airports, whether it be LaGuardia, JFK, whenever you're on the runway, you're like, how is it not working now? I'm downloading this podcast right as we're taking off. I need the strongest radio frequencies. I need your Wi-Fi to be so good that I say, wow, I should just come here and work for the day. They had no Wi-Fi. They had no service. I was basically in oblivion, had no idea if my flight was going to take off within the next hour. I had to keep getting up, going to the board, checking in with people. Hey, can we get the Wi-Fi working? They're looking at me like it is working. Well, it isn't. It's not working. Now I'm sitting here stressed out. I can't even just sit here with headphones and drift away to La La Land, not worrying about whether I'm going to miss my flight that's already been delayed 6 hours. Noah?
Yeah, well, it's almost like it's like the third. It's like you need food, shelter, water, and Wi-Fi at this point. It's it can't
be. It is not 10th on the list. No. It is a necessity.
I think it's second. I'd rather be hungry with water than food, water, no Wi-Fi. Because if you've been on a flight with nothing to do and you literally go, what did I do in the 90s?
Right.
What did I do?
What did I think about? How did people have thoughts? Here's how it goes. If I'm on a deserted island, it goes food, Wi-Fi, water, and then like 80 down is loved ones. That's it. I don't need anything else.
Consider that. I was going bed, roof,
fire, bed, AC. So it goes on a deserted island. It goes food, Wi-Fi, charger, bed, AC, fire. That's where it goes.
Yeah, you could be cold if you're not bored. Who cares?
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's like I've actually had games as a broadcaster where the Wi-Fi is bad, and you're literally like,
makes no sense.
We can't get the radio out. We're on the radio. We can't get it out.
Right.
Where's the priorities here?
Where was the priorities? Like, what am I going to do? Play Snake the rest of this broadcast? Noah, let's hear your complaint.
All right. So
hold on. Hit the music, Shelby. It's the guest's turn to complain. They're ready to jump in. They've got lots of problems too. It ain't all about Jared. Let's hear their complaint of the day. Let's hear their complaint of the day. They're invited on the show to have some fun and complain with you. Let's hear that complaint.
All right, so I'm not going to name the place, but it's a place you've probably been to, Upper West Side, and me and Alyssa are on our date night, and we get the check.
This is your wife, Alyssa, also a comic. Yeah. So you're at date night, and you have a child. So this is like a big
double
night.
Date. It's double because you always have to pay the babysitter too.
Right. So it's not just a date night. It's a date night plus accoutrements.
Yeah. So for people like you, I'm on a date. Okay, whatever. It's medium stakes. But for me, it's like I'm paying for this dinner and $20 an hour is just running. The meter's just on.
The meter's on.
So everything's elevated. It has to go well because otherwise you go, why did we do this? You both look at each other and you go, this was a $400 bad meal, right? We
could have saved the $400 and put it in the college fund. Instead, we ate it.
Yeah, for 10 bad dates, we could fly to Europe. So we get the bill, and on the tipping aspect, it has percentages, okay? But it's not your normal percentages. It's 1, 3, and 7. And I go, percent. And I go, what is happening here? These are too low. I use my detective cap, and I realized, wait a second. For a party of 2, they've added 15% automatically. And then they've said, do you want to tip additional? But there's no way with the presets to get to 20. You can get to 16, 18, or 23, or like 27.
This is crazy.
So then I go, and it's a machine thing. It's like they'll like put your card in, like join, even though it's kind of a nice place. I go, I'm adding manual. I want to get you to 20%, but I'm not going 25.
Wait, especially when they know the going tip rate is 18, 20. Like 20 is like the amount we feel good doing. 18 is the amount we go, this is where I'm at. 15 is like, okay, I'm not going to make eye contact with you.
I think food service, full service, 20 has become the average, and that's become kind of like you just do 20%. Don't even think about it, right? But what I found, it's like you're trying to sneak me into a 23% tip. You're trying to go,
I don't like it.
And even maybe you're trying to sneak me into a 35% tip where I go, this is too low, 20. So I go, I'm going to add it manually. Okay. So now I have to calculate.
Yeah, now you're a mathematician.
And I'm doing math, and Alyssa's embarrassed. My server's embarrassed.
Right, it's horrible.
Is this 2% of the tip amount? Wait, I got to do it again. I need 2% of the total. And I'm going, this is your fault. You did this to me.
They knew they're taking advantage of the insecurities of their customer to just say they're not going to want to do the work. Just put it, and here's the thing. Just let's make it standard. Make it 18, 20, 22. Let's cut it. Let's cut the baby in half. We'll give up 15. I'll give up 15 to have 18, 20, 22 as just buttons. Just make it the buttons and we're done. We're out of here. And here's the thing about it. This is why, you go to Europe. If you go to Europe, the one, people used to brag about, the tomatoes, the cucumbers in Europe, all the food tastes better. No, the tipping is better. The payment structure, the amount of time I got back in Europe from them just going, here's the machine, you tap it and go. There was no tip, no nothing. Just add it on. Why don't you just put a sign above the door? We'll hit it like we're the Notre Dame football team that says 20% automatically added into every tap. Just put it in, and we'll hit it on the way in, tap and go. Tap and go. We're done.
Yeah, and not only that, what's happened is that there's been a bastardization of the tipping process across many different services, right? Like, if I get food, I got food lazily delivered across the street to me last night. It was $20, but I go, if a grown man has to walk me my food because I'm a lazy sultan in my little lair, I give you $5.
Right.
But that's 20%. But if I get $40 of food and you walk it across the street, it might be $5.
Right. It's the same
delivery.
Delivery
you
used to
serve
be
me. You didn't serve me. You didn't greet me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
delivery used to be a standard $5. Let me hit you with one. Yeah.
You and now it's 10.
Now with DoorDash, you just put it in, and like the later at night, the more money doesn't matter apparently.
But it shouldn't be 20%. Number one.
That's the game we're playing. This is the more we get into a tap and go society. I'm okay as long as it just takes no time at all. But don't make me sit here in the thought of what I'm doing right now. JTrain podcast. Go ahead.
No, that this restaurant had nickel dime me earlier in the menu too with his, do you want the bread? It's amazing. I said, yes. They go, boom, at the end of the $14 for the bread. So they charging me for bread, no ice in the drinks, and then you're hitting me with 7%.
If you're going to charge for the bread basket, it's got to be on the menu and not spoken about. You can't mention the bread basket. You can't say, how about bread for the table? We can't go to a world where everything is tap, fresh water. Have you noticed that they've gone?
Yep.
Now there's tap, spring, and sparkling, and every now and again you're like, how did it get to 3 options? I thought we were at tap or whatever or sparkling. This spring water action got in here, and I don't know where it came from.
Yeah, and in Europe that you mentioned, it's weird. The sparkling is the default. You got to go remove the gas. But if you're on a date and you're a young dude, you're going, just bring me the tap. It's just like fucks people like that who are like,
right. You're a loser right away. You're
worst
cheap
one, the free one.
Loser. Give me the free. That's what we should all say, just to put it in our faces. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. Let's go to the complaints. Hair thinning can not only take away our luscious locks, but also our confidence. Over half of us will experience hair thinning. It's not only common, it's normal. Nutrafol is here to help with multiple clinically tested supplements formulated to support hair growth in both men and women. It's the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement out there. Here's what I'll say. I am not taking Nutrafol. My mom is. My mom loves it. She keeps calling me because they send me some product, and now I'm her pusher. I'm her dealer. Every couple months she's like, I need more of it. I love it. It's helping me. And in clinical studies, 72% of men, 86% of women, count my mom as one of those people, saw improved hair growth after just 6 months. By targeting the root cause of hair thinning, stress, hormones, environment, nutrition, lifestyle, metabolism, Nutrafol is an effective way to get back that confidence. Take the first step to visibly thicker, healthier hair. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month's subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code FEATHER. Find out why over 4,000 healthcare professionals recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code FEATHER. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code FEATHER. Go check out Nutrafol. We're here with Noah Savage at YoIt'sTheSav on Instagram. Let's get to the complaints. No luxury lounge. Sink timers suck. Dear Jared, an honored guest of the Luxury Lounge, the softest feathers to you and yours. I write to you today with a complaint that I, admittedly, wouldn't have noticed before getting an Apple Watch. And I guess that makes me a disgusting TM. My summer office has a public restroom with automatic sinks. Whenever I go to wash my hands, I notice that the water only runs for 6 out of the recommended 20 seconds. How do I know this exact number? Because my Apple Watch immediately sends me a notification to keep going and judgingly asks, what happened if the water turns off? I didn't know the watch knew you were washing your hands. I had no idea this was a function. Maybe because I'm on Do Not Disturb. I promise I'm scrubbing. To make matters worse, the sensors don't register that I stuck my hands back under the faucet right away. So I have to stand there pumping my half soapy hands, waiting for more water, nervous that people wonder why I'm taking so long in there. Why can't the sink last longer? Does it need one of the performance enhancers from your sponsors? I'm just trying to follow the CDC guidelines here. Sincerely, better off using Germex. What do you think, Noah Savage?
Well, I call this when certain people get their signals like crossed, like they've almost out-liberaled themselves here, because you've got the sink where you want to conserve water, but then you've got the CDC guidelines of washing hands where you want to use more water. And now you set up your life in a way where you're actually conflicted with yourself.
Right. Two liberals make a Republican.
Exactly. All of a sudden, now you're not washing your hands. You're out of there. You're anti-vax. I mean, it's a whole chain reaction.
There is a point where you give up. You go, I'm not going to be judged by my watch. I'm not going to deal with this sink madness of on and off in 6 seconds. And I'm just going to be out here licking my fingers, touching people, getting everyone sick. I do agree with this.
Yeah, and I think that as a man, if you stood in the men's locker room for an hour, which I've done, you see half the men don't even wash their hands, right?
We are not ones to wash our hands. I think this is not spoken about a lot. We are a gender of it's fine. Rub some dirt in it.
Little this.
Yeah,
it's like one-handed. It's like
sometimes I'll turn on the sink just so people think I wash my hands and just leave. I'll turn it on for the social embarrassment rather than the actual, the germ cleansing.
Yeah, so I think what's happened is you've gotten too much. Now you're getting to the time that my faucet is on. It's just we've gone
here's the
too
thing.
far.
Put the water on for more time. This is getting ridiculous. The idea that we have to sometimes, especially like on a flight, to like you have to hold it with one hand while you wash it with the other. Have we defeated the whole purpose of these automatic hand washings if we have to touch it even more?
Yeah, and then, you try, how many soaps am I going to try? One's empty, the other one's empty. You're going down the whole line, but you're like, I have to live my life at some point. I can't be a slave to the faucet.
Well, that's the other thing, is that life is so easy in other ways. Like we're like, oh, how do I get to the restaurant? And you go on Google Maps and it's wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Done. The directions are there, the time it takes you to get there. We need the rest of life to catch up. And if it doesn't stay up to speed with, looking up the directions, then we give up even easier. So the idea that this hand washing thing isn't efficient, we go, no. Everything in my life is efficient. Why would this be any different? So I'll just give up on washing my hands.
Yeah, and you ever been in a like a water saver, like green shower?
No, I would rather not shower. I would rather not shower than...
It sucks.
Here's the other problem. Our generation loves efficiency. We love knowing that we've achieved the task. We love the check mark. So when you go to wash your hands and you're told on your watch, you've done it. Good job. Here's an A+. Put it on the fridge. So now you've made us addicted to these check marks. And you've made us a society that's slowed ourselves down for these check marks that don't make you any money. To me, this is like China's big plan, is to make us all addicted to finishing things on our Apple Watches so that we're not actually doing the jobs we have to do. So this person is going, I haven't done 20 seconds. I'm a failure. Oh no, my dad won't love me. While China moves forward and creates more microchips.
Yeah, well, it's like I wear a fitness band, which I won't brand for sponsorship potential reasons, but it tracks recovery, right? So if I have nothing to drink, my recovery is like 90%. Like me and Will are always talking, like I'm the recovery king. If I have 5 beers, or if I have, let's say, 10 beers, I've hit single digits. I've had a red 7, I've had 7%, 8%. I go, so I got to charge this thing, put it on, wear it all night so that it can tell me I'm going to be in a bad mood if I sleep 2 hours and have 10 beers. Where are we at this point?
This is the thing. I don't even know what these numbers mean, but once they're in, they're just your reality. I have the exercise ring that closes. I set that the minute I got the watch. I set it. And now it's become this thing. It's like, you got your exercise ring. Yeah, I'm the one who set that one up. Like, it's not, that isn't like CDC approved. JTrain podcast at gmail.com, JTrain podcast at gmail.com, here with Noah Savage. The podcast is called Get Ripped or Die Trying at Yo It's the Sav. It'll be on all my social media. Dear JTrain, Feather, my husband and I love seeing you in Indianapolis this spring. On to my complaint. I'm sick of any and all Doodle dog breed combinations. This is probably more to do with the owners, but I have never once met a well-behaved Doodle. Every time I walk into someone's home who owns a Doodle, I can fully expect to get sucker punched by a dog. Recently, we went to a get-together with friends. A couple we didn't know came in with their Doodle puppy on a leash. Before hellos were exchanged, before introductions were made, the behemoth dog jumps on my stomach. For context, I am 9 months pregnant. I put up my knee to block the dog, and my husband tried to pull her away. The owners didn't try to pull her away or apologize. They just told us her name and said she's a puppy. That is not an excuse. Oh, it's a puppy. Oh, okay. Let it take a shit on me. I can't handle the Doodles anymore. I'm ready to petition to send them all to boarding school in Switzerland to work on their bad behavior. Thanks for letting me air my complaint from a dog person that hates Doodles. What do you think, Noah Savage?
I think she's probably being unfair to the breed of dog, but I live on a hallway that is got 5-6 dogs that are of various levels of behavior. Mm-hmm. And one of them actually bit my lovely wife Alyssa on the ankle, and it was like a nip, but it was like a bruised nip. And
it doesn't matter what it is. The action of biting at a person is crazy.
It was a bite. So growing up, the bad guys in the Disney movies were always like these, yuppies. I don't like dogs.
Right.
But when you live on a kennel hallway that you really didn't know about when you're moving in, it's super effing annoying. And basically, to pass my test, you have to be perfectly behaved. No bad behavior by a dog. I'll kill your dog myself. I have a little baby. Once you have the baby with the dog yapping at it, you're like, give me the dog. I'll drown it. Like, I don't mess around with that.
Here's the thing. It's like you still have the ability to not have the leash loose. You can, if you have a dog that is not well behaved, you have the ability to hold tight on the leash. Mm-hmm. The leash is everything. So it's always the owner. And it's always the owner. If you're loose on the leash, that means you are lackadaisical. That means you're not in control. That means you've trusted the dog to be properly trained, and it wasn't. So that's the real thing that bothers me is when they're not
just
tight
be on the leash.
Just be on the leash.
On the leash. Be on the leash. And this has created, as you know, big conflicts in Central Park because you're not allowed to just let your dog, because they're like, oh, it's Rufus. Rufus is good. I don't know Rufus. We're in New York. Like,
no.
It's wild. Just be on the leash.
It's always you that's the issue. Again, back to the Disney movie, the people that don't like the dogs are the evil people. The people that love the dogs are good people. And it's like we have taken this propaganda to another level where these people can't be blamed for their actions. And I do agree with the writer. The doodles are a personality type. You get a doodle because you want to look like you want the picture of your house with the curly-haired dog and the snout. And notice that people with like the dogs that are not like picturesque, those are always well behaved. Those are always trained because they got the dog to be trained. They wanted a good dog. They didn't just want an Instagram dog. These doodles are made for Instagram. They're bought by people who want to be Instagram and look good on the internet and don't care what happens behind the scenes. It is a personality type.
They're abominations, is what you're saying. And real quick, my friend had me stay at his house, and he had his doodle there. And he goes, you just go in, you go upstairs, no problem. And I go, listen, dogs don't typically like a 6'7" guy who's not their owner just coming in with nobody home. Right. I go, this doodle is fine, whatever. I go in, I couldn't get in the house. Vicious, yapping, yipping.
I think the problem is also the name Doodle is too cute. So they just say, oh, it's a doodle. You know, when it's a schnauzer, watch out for the schnauzer. You know, I think you're trained mentally to be more on guard to like train them more. When it's a doodle, everyone doodle. Oh, you take a crayon and you doodle everywhere just like my dog. It's too cutesy.
Yeah, he skateboards, he smokes a little pot, he's my Labradoodle. It's like, this is an animal.
No, it's an animal. JTrain Podcast at gmail.com, JTrain Podcast at gmail.com. We're sponsored. You can get a subscription for everything these days, whether you subscribe to a shaving club, a snack crate, or even just have your favorite toothpaste arriving every month. It's so easy to lose track of what you're paying for. This is where Rocket Money comes in. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. I love what Rocket Money is doing because, listen, I promote a lot of sponsorships here. Sometimes it's not the time for you. Sometimes you let it go and you just don't want it anymore. Here's where Rocket Money comes in. They're going to save you money. What a great tool. I love that they sponsor this podcast because it can help you. Most of you think you spend about $80 on subscriptions every month, but the real total is closer to $200. A whopping 80% of people have subscriptions they don't even remember they're paying for. Rocket Money helps you cancel these with a touch of a button. I love it. I use it. It saved me money. It's going to save you money. Rocket Money lets you monitor your expenses all in one place and even recommends custom budgets based on your past spending habits. I just love that this is a sponsor. I love that it can help you save money. Anytime a sponsor can help you save, it is a wonderful option. Stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and manage your money the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/JTrain. That's rocketmoney.com/JTrain. rocketmoney.com/JTrain. Here with Noah Savage, Luxury Lounge, Lake House Blues. Jared and lounge guest. My parents have an amazing lake house and boat that my siblings and I use all summer. While I love going and seeing my friends and family, I do have a complaint. My dad, brother, and sister can all water ski, but I cannot. Despite having tried hundreds of times, I just can't figure it out. Every time I go, my family insists that I try again or that I go on the boat to spot for them. Each weekend I'm there, they'll say, you should really try again. I'm not exactly interested in spending time falling on my face over and over again. For something I don't care about to begin with, I would much rather spend my weekends off relaxing in the water and drinking a case of beer. I'm thankful my parents provide such a beautiful place for us, but I have a much different approach to lake weekends than my family members. Sincerely, Hydro Fail. What do you think?
Well, I guess I had this with my best friend who won't play golf.
I actually was thinking of the same thing. This is there's a lot of parallels to golf because the minute people get ahead of you in their skill level is the minute no one wants to deal with you learning how to get to their spot. And it is, and then what happens is now you're self-conscious. Now you're like not as into it, and now you have a gallery of people waiting on you. Come on, are you gonna get this? And they're all putting their 2 cents in on how you can get better. And it's like, For this person, it's like, what part of the day can they go off on the boat by themselves to get good? And it's really doesn't exist on a lake weekend.
Someone's got to be driving the boat there, Jared. Number one, you can't work on your game. Take the old ski out and just do some drills. So like
that's the thing. For golf, I can go alone. I can go to a course alone, and I can practice in the darkness. I can and then I can show up one day and they can go, "Whoa, look who But with skiing, you're right. They can't do that.
But I think that the problem obviously lies with the family dynamic. And like I told my best friend, I said, listen, when you play golf with me, you can have about 15 beers. You can smoke 2 cigars. You might not even swing a club. You can just come drive the cart around and we'll hang out. Because his perception of golf is whatever he did as a kid, which was probably 3 dudes telling him what to do on every single shot. And that's not fun. I'd rather fail a million times and get advice most of the time. So this person is going out and they're going, straighten your left elbow, tweak your ab.
Or you want to be with a coach who knows what they're talking about. You don't trust the opinion of 3 different people at once. You want someone who's like trained in training people. This person, when they go skiing, they're off with the whole family and everyone's got different opinions. It gets confusing. They're down on themselves. They're an adult who can't water ski. The little cousin is going, no, just go on 2 feet and straighten your arms. And you're like, I don't need this every time. I'd rather spend my time relaxing and having a good time. We're past intro level.
Yeah. Well, my version of this with my family is probably Scrabble, where my sister, mom, and dad are all super geniuses. And they'd be like, let's play Scrabble. And I would play. And then I would be like, my word is hat. I have bad letters. And they go, come on, hat? It's 3 words. Come on, I spelled xylophone. And you go, look at my letters. And then we'd have a fight. So for a while, I was like, I don't want to play. Right. But it's
now
not
you're
I
off
don't like
alone.
Scrabble.
Now you're out on family time.
Dumbass.
Now
exactly.
you don't spend time with your family. Now you go alone. Now you don't show up to holidays. Now you're not at Thanksgiving. This is something that can disease a family. And I think what they need to do is twofold. Either you hire a ski coach to do an hour with you. Let's get you to keeping up, or you find some people who are boat people, not ski people. You get some teammates and you say, you guys show up with your towels around your shoulders and the zinc on your nose with 2 cases of beer, and you go, it ain't a ski day. It's a tubing day. You bring a tube. You bring something that's more fun than skiing. So next time you go, you bring an inner tube that you attach to the back, and you bring 2 cases of beer, and watch how quickly ski time is over. Watch how quickly everyone goes, well, wait a minute, we don't have to like straighten our arms anymore. We can just wipe out and have a fun time and get fucking hammered. That's what we're going to do today. Let the tube beat the ski. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. Here with Noah Savage at Yo, It's the Sav. It's the Get Ripped or Die Trying podcast. Go, go, go. School teacher complaint. Okay. More than one complaint here for no reason. So I'm a single 24-year-old working in commercial insurance. No, I don't make commission. Yes, I have 2 jobs with a master's degree and bachelor's. I make all right money for living in Maine, but I want to be able to save more, so I work 2 jobs. I Uber on the side, and honestly, I love it because I love hearing drama. However, so many of my friends from college are teachers. They complain all the damn time. I get 3 weeks off a year total. Just to live one of those weeks, I go from Maine to Boston to Uber to make more money. My friends have the damn nerve to post, buy this for my classroom, as I see them laying on the fucking beach. Like, babe, I work 70 hours a week so I can shop at Whole Foods and wear my damn Lulu. Yes, schools should pay more. No, you shouldn't be begging people to buy your $4 crayons off of Amazon. This is problematic, I know. Don't come after me. Signed, a teacher lover, but also, please stop begging me to buy stuff off your Amazon wish list when you're laying on the beach for 2 months straight. What do you think, Noah Savage? This is going to be divisive. Here's the problem. Right away, here's the problem with this complaint. I agree with the complaint. The teacher lists, I don't want the teacher lists. I get sent them all the time, and I sound like a piece of shit. But your problems with the government, it's above me. That's the thing. We've given up with our politicians to the point where we're just going to each other and fighting amongst each other, where now we're the evil, we're Mr. Burns. We're, what's his name? With Tiny Tim. We're now Moneybags, who's like, get away, pause. I don't need to buy your crayons. And it's like, no. We're not the issue. This is how helpless we all are.
We already paid for them.
Right. There's taxes that are paid. What is going on? And here's the thing. I know so little about the plight. Like, I know so little about, I don't have kids. I don't have nephews or nieces. I don't know any teachers. So I know that they need these things, but I'm like, how about you go to the parents first? I want to see all the parents say no. Then I want to see the aunts and uncles say no. Then I want to see the grandparents say no. Then I want to see your local congressman say no. Then come to me. Like, why am I first in line? That's what I don't understand.
Yeah, and I unfortunately know too much about this, okay? I went to probably some of the best schools in America growing up, and I didn't like it. You know who I feel bad for in this situation? Is the kids who have to sit in class. I'm not buying, no matter what supplies this teacher gets, if these kids are going to go, oh my God, Thursday was outrageous. Not only did I learn, it was a blast. I think the school is who the other kids are, what you do to some degree. Like, I don't kind of like any GoFundMes.
Wait a minute, hold on.
I don't like any GoFundMes at all.
Hold on, why? I don't understand. You went to the best schools, so you already had.
I didn't like it. No, and I still didn't like it. I still said, let me get to recess. Let me get out of here.
Right. So you're saying this is making school too much fun?
No, I'm saying that school's going to suck anyway. No amount of magic markers that I buy for you is going to make the kid like it. Let the kid do whatever the hell he wants more in school, and don't worry about the supplies. Make whatever you're doing is better. Okay.
Right.
And maybe that's controversial, but I have a kid. I'm like, I might have to homeschool this guy, man. School is too boring. I can't have him go through that.
Well, I guess I would say is like we lose all control of where these, if I'm given to this thing, I want to know where the crayons are going. What are they going to be used for? Like we get no report. We're just told, thank you, here's the money. I don't know. Anytime I see these teacher lists, and I get them sent to me because people are like, can you put this out to your people or whatever? And I'm like, I don't know how we've gotten this far down the river of helplessness towards our like local, governments. Like, you go, there's no money. Like what has happened? Well,
Amazon, like you're buying it from Amazon. Hey, Bezos, just send it. Go ahead and send everybody supplies, Bezos.
This is a great point. Is why aren't we? Every teacher they need to work as one. All the teachers should come together to protest outside of Bezos's door. Bezos, it would be not even like a drop in the water of his wealth to just give to every school one basket of supplies that gets them through the whole year. Why are we
drop it from a helicopter, just like Africa in the 80s?
Right.
Just, there you go. You don't have to go near the school. Just drop it right down. Come and get it, people.
And I think that to this listener who wrote in, they're saying you're sitting on the beach. It's like, no. It's not about that. They've defeated their own argument because now people go, well, I work hard. This isn't about working hard. It's why are you coming to us simpletons for a problem that we know? Like I'm not here to say tax the rich. I'm saying let the rich buy the supplies.
Yeah, and also like, either we're doing this thing where we all pay our money in taxes and then they get the money to run the school, or we're doing this thing where I'll keep my money and then I'll buy you all the crayons you want. But like, we're kind of getting it from both ends at this point. We're like,
right. Well, that's because there's no communication. That's the thing. We are all made to feel guilty that, well, you're not helping. What's going on? You don't want to help. And it's like, you don't want to help the kids. And it's like, tell me, I just want the list of people you went to before me. I need to see all of those people because there are people who could help you and it wouldn't make any amount of time or money to them. It would mean nothing to them. JTrain podcast at gmail.com, JTrain podcast at
Also, one more note,
Yeah.
Jared. I don't like that the Uber driver is going, look at them. They get summers off. all right, go become a teacher. That's what they did.
Well,
that was their choice. You want to do it? You teach.
To this person, I like that they said they're in real estate because anything in real estate, they're not allowed to complain. They're not like, oh, you make all this money. And they're like, I do okay. I work 2 jobs. I got a master's degree. I have debts to pay too. And now you're put in this position of like, can you help, Tiny Tim and Oliver Twist because he can't have crayons? And you go, and to say no to it, you go, yeah, I got things going on too. You always sound evil. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. Luxury Lounge. Birthday registry. Feather, longtime listener and writer. I received a text from a friend this week. It was an evite to her boyfriend's 30th birthday party. Not only is the party on a Monday from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. What is this, a teacher sitting on the beach?
Better be Labor Day. What day? What Monday?
Monday. And at a 20-minute drive away from the city bar. But there's also a gift registry link on the invite. What the fuck? I feel like I'm being punished for being this person's friend. Is this annoying or am I just bitter? Thanks for listening, Punish Batch. What do you think? This is a gift registry?
No, there are no gifts. Pat, are you in high school? You probably don't even get a gift. As a grown adult, there are no gifts beyond your spouse, your girlfriend. Maybe your best friend in the world has a funny gift you give, but beyond that, there's no gifts. The gifts are, I'm here, you dick, in Somerset, New Jersey, and I can't get that drunk because I got to drive back to my apartment.
This is the most horrific use of displacing awkwardness onto the internet that I've ever seen. It started with dating apps. Dating apps was about not being turned down. I'll put my profile up. If they like me, I'll hear about it. If they don't like me, I won't hear about it. This is the next generation. This person is like, I'll put up a gift registry. If they want to buy me something, who am I to judge? If they don't, I won't even know. This is a problem. This is why we need shame and awkwardness. This is why if you want a gift, come. And even worse, it's the 30th birthday party of her boyfriend. So now she's getting the invite from her friend who's asking for the gift for the boyfriend. The boyfriend is way up the mountain of awkward. He doesn't have to deal with anyone's facial expressions. He doesn't have to deal with anyone going, you want a gift? What am I, your dad? What's going on?
Buy me a beer. Buy me a beer at the party. I mean, I would be embarrassed if somebody brought me a gift to a birthday party. To be honest with you,
I would be embarrassed too. I from 22 until death, birthdays should be, I'm at this bar, come if you'd like.
Yes,
that's it.
Bingo.
That's every birthday. If it's more than that, you have put a cost on your friendship that it is not worth. You have made your friendship a burden. You have made your friendship too much. No one is that good of a friend who deserves more than I'm at the bar. If you want to come, you can come. From the hours of 5 to 9, I'll be there. Make your birthday a Shiva call. Show up. You give your respects. You leave. Maybe you eat. Maybe you buy me a drink. Maybe you don't. That's okay too. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. Here with Noah Savage. We will do one more. You ready for one more?
Sounds good.
Okay. Everyone go follow Noah at It's the Sav. Get Ripped or Die Trying. That's the podcast. Go, go, go. Luxury Lounge, mortician problems. Dear Jared and hilarious guest, thank you for always starting off my mornings with a laugh as I commute to my funeral home job. Now on to my complaint. On a previous episode of the Luxury Lounge with Niamesh Patel, he said that how to get around people asking about your job is to say that you're a mortician. This is not true. I have worked in funeral services for the past 5 years, and it has been nothing but a burden when when it comes to people ask me what I do for a living. My complaint is that I will be out with a group of friends at a wedding, birthday party, etc., and someone will always ask, so what do you do for a living? And I answer with, I work at a funeral home. This conversation does not stop here. They will continue asking me insane questions about death, dead bodies, what do we do with the blood, and what my crazy story is. These are just to state a few. I'm sorry, but I do not want to talk about decomposed bodies at a child's birthday party. Can't I just say what I do for a living and be done with it? I do not want to discuss the ins and outs of my job as I'm sitting at the discard table at a wedding. I'm thankful for my job and I'm happy to help families in a time of need, but I do not want to answer your Aunt Mary's 500 questions about death and dying. Thanks for all you do. Sincerely, a girl who wants to rest in peace. Noah Savage, what do you think?
Well, what she's saying must be right, because my first instinct was, yeah, I do want to know, like, where's the blood go? And
right.
But my second question is, what do you tell people you're a comedian if they don't know you and recognize you?
I say consultant. Consultant is a good one because it's a boring job. It's boring, but also it is a job people think they would be judged for not knowing what it is. So like everyone knows consultant's a job. No one knows what a consultant does. All you know is they travel. So consultant like ends the conversation. No one goes, well, consultant for what or for who? And even if it goes down that road, I go import, export, just, different things around the country. Yeah, Vandalay Industries. And
well, it does. Yeah, it reminds me of the Anthony DeVito joke where he goes, "I do know what I thought I knew what a philanthropist was, but I don't. I thought it was a paleontologist." You know that joke,
right?
Where he's like he's at a wedding and he's telling everybody. But I think she's got to get a stock lie for what she does, and I think make it sound like it's OnlyFans. Say I'm a adult content creator, then you won't get any more questions.
No, you're going to get more questions. What does that mean? Older generation. People don't stay away. You need to go boring. Editor. This is the thing. This is the problem with Mortician. Mortician is, you can't have a job that a fifth grader has heard of. Because then people go, oh my God, I got all these questions built up over time. You meet a cop, you want to hear, oh, what's your biggest case? What's the most gruesome thing you saw? You meet a firefighter. Have you ever been in a fire? Or you ever go up the ladder? Do you go down the pole? All of these things, you need something that is so benign that people go, I know what that is. I don't care what that is. Accountant is probably perfect for this.
Boom. Accountant, and CFA. If you say CFA, they know you're authentic. I'm a CFA. And if they don't know, they won't ask, to your consultant point.
Also, I like the CFA point because if you say CFA, they think you're a douche because you didn't say accountant. You wanted to let them know that you're a higher level. So they want to talk to you less. To me, I understand. Mortician, I'm with you. I want to know more because I'm like, you do something that I know about. I don't have to feel embarrassed asking about. That's the thing. They know so few people that deal with dead bodies. They know what you do is a thing that they have questions about, so they have actual knowledge. When you say CFA, you say consultant. They don't have enough knowledge to ask you a question. Mortician, we all know dead people. We don't know dead bodies. We're blood. We know easy, stupid questions to ask that don't feel stupid to ask. You need to put them in a position where they feel stupid asking the questions.
And this girl should set up a camera on herself at a wedding, and she should do 10 mortician and 10 CFA and just see people go, oh, CFA?
Yeah, walk away.
Casually walk away. Ugh.
Right. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. Noah Savage, thank you so much for coming in the lounge.
Thanks for having me, man. And everybody check out the Noah Savage YouTube as well. We're doing the golf show on there, the Chip King. And Get Ripped or Die Trying with Will Winter. You're going to be on very soon, if not already been on. So thanks for having me, man. And I texted you when you started this podcast. Finally, there's a place for people like us who enjoy some nice privilege in our life. But guess what? There's stuff to complain about still.
The art of the complaint. Everyone go follow Noah at It's the Sav on Instagram, on all social media. I'm Jared Freed. We're here every Thursday in the lounge. Keep sending your emails, jtrainpodcast@gmail.com. Back next episode. Boom.